Welcome back. As we promised, we are going to tackle the important event which took place yesterday. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi attended the inauguration of the International Manufacturing Convention and Exhibition. Well, this is the very first edition of this gathering, gathering a lot of people who are that much interested in industry and opening the gate, opening new horizons of cooperation between the public and private sectors. There are a lot of decisions which were made and a lot of messages which were sent by the political leadership. To shed more light on this, we are very much delighted to have with us former General Manager of Egypt Industry Federation, Engineer Mostafa Waly. Thank you very much for being with us, sir. A very good morning.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Let's start immediately, and let's start with the start, or Ibda.
Yes.
Ibda, it's going to be a new start for many entrepreneurs, many startups, many of those who just wanted to seize the opportunity to participate, to share in the industrial field in Egypt with incentives, and that they're coming directly from the political leadership, from President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi himself. How do you see the initiative, and how do you see the Ibda as an initiative?
First of all, the initiative in itself is part, and it will be an integrated part and very important part of the whole package of the interest and the keenness of the state and the leadership of this country to get those who are interested to do something good for themselves and for their country to get the best out of it with the full support. And when it comes to industry, this is a trend now, but we can be very specific to choose certain areas of industries where the outcome and the success story itself will resound around. For example, if it will tackle specific industries where technology matching with the latest in the IT, for example, and we can get into it, and it's an initiative, the success will give more potential and more hope for others to follow the suit. So actually, if we look at, let's talk about it now, this Ibda. It's very interesting. The verb itself in Arabic, it means go ahead, begin, you name it.
Start.
Yes, and we will follow with you, and we will continue with you. That's very good. I heard about this verb yesterday, I mean this word. It's not just playing words. We have facts on the grounds. I'm lucky to be familiar with most of these initiatives which were developed yesterday with big names. I will not say names because it was evident yesterday, and the president was giving the chance for everybody to talk about what his project is.
To have detailed speeches.
Exactly, yes, and to give the stories. And we need it, I mean, to know what's behind. Some are really exporting to developed countries, and I'm familiar with it as a mechanical engineer of some parts which were actually the capacity and the finishing and the technology included there and used to get to this level of quality. It's marvelous. With the consent and the approval of the first users and the most important users.
Sir, this event which took place yesterday, it marked the centenary 100 years of the Egyptian Federation of Industries.
Yes.
But I think the federation is gaining more importance.
Yes.
Now it can play such a pivotal role in localizing industry. And let's underline this word. Localizing industry is one of the priorities of our political leadership.
Yes.
Because now it's not a luxury anymore.
No.
It's a must. How do you see this, sir?
Being a must, it's true. It's always there, but you know, sometimes you have certain events which prove certain idea. For example, we'll get directly to what we are, I mean, the whole world is suffering from it now. We can put it in one very important term, and it's a new term. It's called the supply chain. The supply chain, even, you know, when you get into the meaning of it's you have a chain, which means a lot of things, but related together. It has to go into certain system, time-wise, production-wise, quantity-wise, and all these stories. This is a phenomenon which, have been rising across the last 30 years, of what we call globalization. We have to
Yeah.
think of this way, because that's it. We are part of the world now.
And the whole world now, it's
of
a
course.
small village
Yes,
with what's
yes,
going on.
yes, yes. And you see the interdependence, the positive interdependence, because some independence, dependence, the positive dependence, where everybody is dependent on the other.
Integration.
Exactly, which will
Yes.
give the integration in this case. That's why we should
Whenever
explain
it's a win-win
integration in this
situation,
sense.
this is exactly what we need.
So, okay. So if I have something where I can do, quality-wise, price-wise, quantity-wise, which is okay. The other would accept this, because in the meantime, I might need something they are producing. I'm talking as countries, I'm talking as continents even, I'm talking as industries, because some industries are totally dependent on other industries, which are the feeding industries. For example, if we take a very, very clear example, it's the automotive industries, where it's a series of feeding industries. Highlighting this point is very important, and
Amen
thank
to
you
that.
for mentioning it.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi also watched a documentary yesterday, and it was speaking about the global crises. It's not only one crisis.
Yes.
Just after we got rid of coronavirus, at least relatively, we have been without our hand involved into this Ukrainian-Russian conflict, and the negative repercussions of this crisis are really spreading.
Yes.
But the Egyptian economy is doing good, proving to be resilient enough to face such crises.
Yeah.
How do you see this, and how do you see this as a positive, let's say, another start for our industry persons, industry men, to continue with confidence that they can achieve success?
Yes. The actual situation on the ground sometimes is the best to explain what's going on, or to prove it, or disagree with it. Right now, we didn't reach the point, like many other countries, where they will get into a rationing of the most essential thing, rationing heat for the winter coming now. This is now in application, will be applied immediately. In UK, that's what I read, it's announced. So it means that if you have your situation, our situation generally, where yes, we are suffering from the hike and the hype of some prices, which is out of our hand. But meanwhile, it is not just left like that. The government and the leadership is doing its best to control it. And we will not get into details about the latest decisions of the central bank, and what we see now. And soon we will get the effect. And yesterday, Mr. President, when he was talking about the future and about the industry, he was talking about something that is taken for granted, that go ahead, the government is there, even for those who are a little bit stumbled or delayed due to some other things.
We are here backing you.
Here backing you, and we are ready to participate with you, to join venture with you. That's something great.
To add to, or to echo what you have just said, sir, the presidential directive to the governor of our central bank and to the Minister of Trade and Industry to facilitate the procedures, and to facilitate even the procedures of loans for those who want to start their own business.
Yeah.
And it was also said that energy, electricity, fuel is going to be afforded with reasonable prices and even lower than the real costs. These were also other messages.
Yes.
How do you see this, sir? Because this should be a start, this should be something which we can consider a turning point.
Yeah. Exactly. That you are in the same trend where we are talking about, we just started it. For example, if you look now for the what we call usage act, that's very low terminology concerning that you get the land to use it and do something you need. It will be profitable for you and for the people without damaging the land or without wasting its.
Sir, I'm not going to read from
yes,
our
yes,
script.
fantastic.
Simply, you are one of our men of industry, and you were
Thank
such
you.
a responsible official in the federation.
Yeah.
Now you do have all these incentives, and you do have also the golden license. For 3 months, you are completely
Yes.
free of
Yes.
anything, just focus on your project.
That's
Tell
right.
me what you're gonna do.
I can do nothing except, push and try to do my best to highlight things and to be positive. I mean, giving the advice because according to my situation. But a lot of people can do much more than this, that they can think together how to get together, as the president even encouraged them to get together and have something real on the ground, to have their own project. And this is a good slogan. I mean, have your project is your machine. Somebody was telling this. This,
Yes.
I mean, you can be interpreted in this, what you say right now. And the problem is how much we raise the awareness that industry in general, now we talk in general, industry is our main, or it's the golden gate to progress, because it can pull with it every activity in life, including agriculture too.
Sure.
That's always I'm talking, because now you cannot have a real good agriculture and agriculture business without agro industry, because you will find the products of industry itself, you will find it there. So, well, let's encourage the people, and the initiative will soon, and then what we will see on the ground will prove whether we are or they are. I mean, the other side, those who can help and those who needs the help. For example, I will give you one example. I am familiar with it long ago and all the time. It is fulfilling the requirement of establishing a project, which is meaning that the governmental or the official part of having licenses, of having approvals, and what minimizing this process, which is needed by all means,
Already
it's
done.
everywhere. It must be
Already
minimized
done.
to the
Yes.
miss. This is what I'm telling you. This
Yeah.
this what I'm telling you. When we have this, then you will have this golden license for 3 months. Go ahead. You just undertake and you promise and fulfill promise that within 3 months you will get everything needed, because only you will be asked for what is essentially needed for the country at large, for the environment, for the systems, for everything.
And
Once you
if
get
you
it,
achieve success during those 3 months,
Yes,
this
yes.
golden license is going to be renewed. So there is no excuses not to fulfill the needs and to continue with success in your project.
Yeah, yeah.
But sir, let me think a little bit out of the box.
please.
What we do need now is creativity.
Yeah.
Thinking out of the box,
Yeah.
is have a brainstorming,
Yeah.
is having innovative ideas.
innovative.
This is exactly what
Exactly.
we need. How we can get this implemented on the ground? I mean, with the help of the federation, with those the private sector, with corporate social responsibility, big industries to give a hand with the vocational training, with giving a hand to the youth, with enabling the youth, with enabling women. What?
Fantastic, because you are mentioning all the pillars, which actually, when you have them strong and then you build on them, then you have a very prosperous society. I'm talking out of the actual situation everywhere for the success of industry. You talked about innovation.
Yeah.
You talked about creativity. For also we can have the rest of the package, which is the incentive, the internal incentives of certain, entrepreneur, the desire of being an entrepreneur. That's in the sense of that you are doing your own business, so you keep it, you want to succeed with it, and then you get people with you because you cannot do it yourself. That's it. If you have this, then this is essential. When you talk about innovation, for example, this country is rich with the brains and the talents in every aspect. I'm not just talking blah, blah, blah. I have seen it. I'm still seeing it. The Egyptian know it. The Egyptian people knows this. The only thing is that how to take off the dust of it, how to take off the negative motives and have the positive motives. So when it comes to innovation, for example, we have brilliant minds in every sector of industry. I'm talking industry, for example. We have great success stories. Look at the latest in the world, which is the IT. The IT is the field where you have the human brain and the human mind in its climax of innovation and of creativity. We have great Egyptian young men and even older working in this field. They can contribute in general to the IT industry, which by itself is a great thing, but also it will help the industry at large. You can apply what I'm saying to you for all sectors of industry, which according to the Federation, when I left it was 25th, you know, out of 16 chamber. The latest was IT, which I was actually privileged in 2001 to participate in its initiation.
Also, one of the most important statements which were said by the president yesterday, challenges or obstacles
Could be.
could be
Opportunity.
wonderful opportunities. How do you see this reflected on our minds? I mean, have we changed our culture, or should our culture be changed on the ground to think about it this way? I mean, to take all the time the positive side of the coin?
Exactly. You know, you all of a sudden you bring the whole issue to a level which is it's needed,
Because
badly needed.
the president is all the time raising the
absolutely,
bar.
Absolutely.
The bar is all the time
I am very
higher
impressed.
and higher.
I was very impressed. You know, not too many people would use this very simple term, you know, because it has the two contradictions. When you have a threat, how to change it into something positive, opportunity. It proved that the history of progress in general of the humanity, you know, was coming from this. The threat of man in front of the nature threat, you know, it changed it to that he managed to have something to protect himself. Then he built, and the story of civilization. It is true. It's very important. The only thing, how to be part of our culture. That's another story.
This is another story, and it seems that we will need other episodes to continue what we've started.
It's a pleasure.
We were very much delighted to have with
you.
us engineer Mostafa Waly, former general manager of the Egyptian Federation of Industry. Thank you very much for being with us, sir.
Thank you for inviting me.
And we are going to turn back with more in our breakfast show, so stay tuned. This was Nurmina Abdurrahman.